So there's a song made famous by Tony Bennett. It's called "The Shadow of Your Smile." It's a haunting melody that fills the corners of my soul. It's gorgeous. Now when I remember spring, all the joy that love can bring, I will be remembering the shadow of your smile. Beautiful. Well, this story is called "The Shadow on Your Smile," and in a couple of minutes you'll know why. So one sunny summer afternoon, my sister and I were in our early 20s. We're laying out on the pier getting a suntan, and all of a sudden this motorboat comes scooting across the bay, and you hear this voice go, "Hey Jordy, hey Jordy, hey Jordy," like this. So I look up from the pier and I say, "Who's that?" She goes, "Oh God, that's Mark and his brother." She goes, "They're like the town goofballs. You know, the air pressure is like a little low." She goes, "Just ignore them. Just lay down flat and maybe they'll go away." So I lay down. Well, it doesn't work because the boat comes up to the pier, ties up. Mark gets out of the boat and he walks up and he squats down, right down like this, right by my sister's head. And he says, "Hey Jody, who's this good-looking girl you got here with you?" And she says, "Oh, this is my sister. She's visiting from out of town." He goes, "Oh, well, welcome to Okachi Lake," or as we like to call it, Ocrotch Itch. And I thought, wonderful, this is just a beautiful Indian name, right? Another reason for the Native American to enjoy the white man. But I remember what he said, the air pressure was low. Okay, so he's squatting like this down, you know, kind of up on his haunches, and he's kind of over my sister's head, and I'm laying next to her. So I look up to say, "Nice to be here." And when I open my eyes, I look smack into the fact that here, in the center of Mark's swim trunks, his flap had opened up, and there was something that looked like a big walnut that was coming out. And it was his member in soft form, and it popped out, and then it opened up like a penknife, you know? And then it started rolling down his leg like this, and came to a stop, and it was dangling about an inch above my sister's nose. So of course, I didn't really know what to do, so I just laid back down. Now, in all fairness, when I mentioned this to my husband later on, and I told him what happened, I said it wasn't my fault. He said, "Okay, just stop right there." He said, "Let me just tell you something. First of all, this guy, whoever he was, he did not observe Wiener protocol." And I said, "What's Wiener protocol?" And he said, "Look, there's just a thing the guys do. You're supposed to push it down and then you fold it to the side." He said, or I don't know, I think that's what he said, or he said you push it up and you roll it and flip it, something like that. I don't remember exactly. But then you net it. You put it in the net, the mesh, you know. And I thought, well, maybe this guy, I mean, he's a doofus. Maybe he didn't have mesh. Maybe he couldn't afford a net. I didn't know. So anyway, okay, so back to the pier, okay, so I'm laying next to my sister, okay, we're head to head, and I look over, and you gotta appreciate the fact that she wants this guy to go away. So she's got her hand like shading the sun from her eyes like this, and she's talking to him, laughing, but she's not really looking, right? So she's not looking, he's not looking, and I believe like neither of them realized that his 9-iron was in play. Because she just wants him to go away, you know, so she's hoping that he'll leave. So I'm laying there next to her, and at this point, I thought, you know, I didn't really want to look, but every once in a while I would just have to got shocked because I could not believe that this guy's flagella was like a whisker above my sister's nose, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And then I got this great idea just to amuse myself. So it turned out, because I was laying right next to her, right, like on the side, we were horizon line, that I realized that if I flattened my head really flat down like this and looked straight over her while she was talking, it looked like it was going in and out of her mouth. It was hilarious! And I kept like, I'd look, I'd go in the mouth, out of the mouth, in the mouth, out of the mouth, you know, back and forth like that. And she's like, ha ha, she's talking like this and she doesn't know what's going on. So, you know, I'm watching this, and then the way he was squatting, he was like on his haunches and then his arms were up here, so he couldn't see it here. But it was like framed between his arms and his legs. It was like in a frame, like I felt like I was watching a mini documentary or something. So now, I'm laying there thinking, okay, I got two choices here, you know. I can either try to signal her, and if she turns and makes contact, that's not good. Or I cannot say anything, and if she turns and makes contact, that's not good either. So I'm literally laying there just like waiting for the ball to drop, literally. And you know what I felt like? I felt like, swear to God, if you remember the old cartoons with Sylvester the Cat, when he would be in the rowboat and it was going down sinking, and he would turn to the audience and he would go, "Mother!" It's like, "Mother, what do I do?" Well, I couldn't do anything. So I just laid there. So they were chatting for about 10 minutes, and then finally he decides to leave. So they go, "Bye, Jody. Bye, Jody's sister." You know, and they get in the boat and leave. So now we're laying on the pier, and you know, we're just like, not really talking about anything. And after about 10 minutes, I couldn't take it. I said, "Look," I said, "can you tell me, did you have any idea that the entire time he was talking to you that his penis was hanging about an inch above your eye?" And she goes, "Are you kidding me? Why didn't you say something?" I said, "What was I going to whisper? Wiener at 2 o'clock and have you take a hard right? I mean, seriously, what was I going to do?" She says, "Well, you could have said something." I said, "No, there was really nothing that I could have said." So we laid there a little bit longer, and you know, it was quiet for a while. And then I said, and I said to her, I said, "So honestly, you didn't feel anything at all? You didn't notice?" She says, "Well, I did feel a little breeze." And I said, "Well, there you go then. That's the end of it." So that I thought was the end of it. Well, it wasn't the end of it, because she got really mad at me because I didn't give her the high sign, right? So for the next couple months after that, she wouldn't talk to me. She was mad, like it was, and I don't know if she was more mad that it was dangling over her or that the guy had a low IQ. I'm not really sure what the issue was. But every time I would call her on the phone, she would pick it up. She'd pick it up and she'd say, "Wiener at 2 o'clock," and hang up. And this went on for months. And then finally, I thought, I gotta get her somehow. There's some way I gotta get her to go. So I called her one day. I thought, this is great. So her voicemail picked up, and I started to sing. And I said, "Now that I remember spring, all the joy that love can bring, I will be remembering the shadow on your smile." And she picked up the phone and she said, "You know, you could have said something." But she didn't hang up, you know. And I said, "Look, what did you want me to do?" I said, "Not my fault." I said, "It's the guy, he didn't observe protocol, he didn't fold or baste or drape or do any, it's not my fault." And what, Hindenburg over Long Island? Red sails at sunset, 2 mules for Sister Sarah? I mean, what did you want me to say? So now for the rest of our lives, that beautiful melody will haunt my sister. And I have to say that for the rest of our lives, as long as we love each other, which we do, the possibilities will always be endless.